It's TGI Now time. Back again in the K420 studio discussing real authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Freeing your mind.
One episode at a time.
Shit, we trying.
Boom.
There we go. Your mic's working.
Yeah.
And we got AC.
Thank God.
Now we're good. It's not
How's
so
everybody doing,
freaking
man?
hot in here.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
man.
That stuff smells really good.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to smoke some of that shit.
Damn, dude. That smells really
Well,
good.
anyway, first off, I just want to apologize. My behavior last week, man, just
You don't
have a lot going on.
have to apologize. man.
I just want people to understand something, but I'll say this, is that this show was designed for disagreement. I mean, that's what we do. That's why we have 3 different generations, 3 different races. Everything is designed to be different. This way we can agree to disagree. And that's what, the world's not doing. We need to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that. We're too busy forcing people to agree a narrative that isn't true.
Yeah.
And when the truth is spoken, you're considered a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
So, just to let people know, man, John is my brother from another mother, man. So because I had somebody ask me, what happened? I said, bro, I was just in a bad way, and he knows how to get my goat, and he did. So that's how that works.
But at the same time, I mean, now looking at the future proofs past events that happened from the time we did the show this time last week to now, what has occurred, it kind of seems like it's happening that way, where Israel's kind of going against what Trump kind of did for him, but the Iran thing.
He's pissed at Israel.
Now he's pissed. So now he's mad, and it's like, okay, well, now he's pissed at them. So are they going to, like I said before, are we going to have some kind of a false flag that's going to happen? It's going to be blamed on Iran to pull us back into the mix.
I think it's gonna be
At this point now, I think that America is a little more aware about Israel and is going to say, hold up. This may come from Israel the same way we know 9/11 came from Israel. And, bin Laden was just an easy scapegoat.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's where you're exactly right. So now you look at does a ship get attacked in the Mediterranean? Oh, look, like a Gulf of Tonkin situation.
Well, I already know it's horrible shit going on.
So that's what we have to be awake and aware. That's all.
Yeah. But the bad thing about Israel, right, is that Israel is God's nation, and it's being polluted by these bureaucrats and all these horrible people.
Mm-hmm.
That once it gets cleansed, I mean, listen, Sodom and Gomorrah was a godly place at one point as well, before all that, debauchery and adultery and fornication and all that, child loving and all that bullshit happened. So. And then what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Boof, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Israel may happen the same thing to Israel, because Israel's a blessed nation, like America's a blessed nation. We have to be careful. And that's the good thing about Trump, is that he really does put God in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He always puts God in the mix. I like that.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Because he does. But, Netanyahu, if you notice, he wasn't really in power when Biden was president.
Yeah.
Someone else was in power. He came back when Trump was president. So I would like to know what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of relationship is going on there? Remember also that one of the things I recall, the first person to call Biden and congratulate him when he first stole the election was Netanyahu.
Exactly. Yep. So what's that all about?
Yeah.
What's that all about? So that's kind of interesting,
Why are we funding it, though?
Exactly.
That's the question.
That's the biggest question. Follow the money, like George Colon always says on the other podcast that we do. Board report. Follow the money. Where's the money going? That's the biggest thing.
This shit is fire, bro.
Right? It tastes really good. And then Trump, went off today on Israel with the whole, they don't know what the fuck's going on,
That war for hundreds of years.
Yeah. Let's see what he says here.
Play both of them. That one and
this one's funny. Watch this. This is really good. You'll like this. I also get a laugh, too.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Put the other one on.
I'll play the other one.
The other one I think was cute.
The kid with the baby?
Yeah.
The baby one's good, too.
That was cool.
So one thing, people were making comments last week when we were getting an argument, and people were like, what's going on? And some people were asking me between you and me, and the funny part was people wanted to see some reactions, and I got so distracted that I left it up on the screen, like the other screen, so you only see the itty bitty screen, so you couldn't see some of the reactions.
That's all right, bro.
And I said I got distracted, so I didn't even know.
I was pissed for real, bro. I wasn't fucking around, bro. I know.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
I'm not allowed to get angry.
It's okay. Fuck it. I mean, listen, we could agree to disagree.
Right?
I'm not allowed to get angry.
No, you keep on rolling, bro.
I'm black.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
You understand that?
You understand that?
In the real video, he just walks away. He just fucking
But the thing is this too, is that they don't know what the fuck they're doing, because right now, Trump is not funding shit going to Israel or going to fucking, he did send out some fucking pilots, but that's just to patrol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to drop anything, just to patrol, pretty much eyes on fucking what's going on. And then an hour after he fucking told Israel not to fucking bomb him, the fucking Israel bombs Iran. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you want to fuck around with America, Israel? Are you kidding me?
Bro, I already told you how it's going to go. Y'all want to sit here and play like it's like that one friend that's little and he's sitting there barking behind you. Like, bro, I'm trying to stop the problem and you causing the problem. Shut the fuck up. I'm over here trying to help you.
Exactly.
You making the problem worse.
Yep.
That little motherfucker behind you that's just hype as fuck, ain't never got in a real fight with nobody. He just behind you fucking yap, because he know big brother here gonna take up for him if shit get real.
You're right.
It's the same situation. And now big brother mad as fuck because he see what the fuck you got going on.
What the fuck he's doing. Exactly. Yeah, you're telling me.
This is gonna be the quickest war ever. World War III will be the quickest war ever. Mark my words. That America just gonna step back. Y'all want to play like this? Y'all don't want to listen? Reason. He just said reason ain't part of this equation. What the fuck we look like staying here sitting inside of this shit?
Well,
and which one of y'all would try to drag us back in this motherfucker? See what the fuck we do to both of y'all.
That's the biggest question. That's the biggest one. That's the one there. Who's going to try to drag us back into it?
John.
Here, let me play this, what this guy said here before we were on the show, too. This was a good little clip.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
My mom used to try to tell me, you never want to be the one that stirs the pot because you'll end up having to lick the spoon. Well, I didn't listen then, and today, just call me Chef Boyardee. So after everything, the billions and billions of dollars for who knows how long, the double B here comes out and says, you know what? I don't need you, and I'll do whatever I want. And then this man completely flips it and basically says, you guys need me.
It's Tel Aviv, tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead.
And if you're anything like myself, you know exactly why this man pointed out New York City. But we'll save that for another video.
9/11, bro.
Well, not just that. The most Jewish people in the United States live in New York City metropolitan area. So it's the same fear base.
Is he even Jewish?
Netanyahu? I don't think so. We'll see about that. I got a video for that one too.
Yeah, I got to wonder if he's even Jewish.
Yeah, I got a video about that.
I never see him with a yarmulke. You never see him praying.
And then this morning, right after you make a deal with them,
they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel.
I don't really care who you think is right or wrong. I care where my money's going. So if you ask me, the stage is set for us to see some serious fireworks or to see who works for who. Y'all stay safe.
That's 100. That's what I'm talking about.
Who works for who?
We don't know. We may be fucking surprised, bro.
Follow the money too, like you said. Where our money's going.
Yeah, bro.
It's all like you just said. Why are we giving them money? Why have we been funding these guys all this time?
We've been funding them for fucking years, bro.
The most money. We did a whole show about it.
Yeah,
we did the whole chart.
Israel gets the most fucking money from the U.S.
As fucking every time we go to war, it's the country we gave the most money to that we go to war with.
Yeah, because we fucking been supporting and fucking providing them with weapons and everything else. Israel, one thing about Israel that I got to tell you, man, is that in Israel, you're not allowed to have a gun. They got stripped of all their weapons. You're not allowed to have a gun in Israel, bro, unless you're in the military.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, fucked up, bro. Think about that. Why would you disarm your country?
Yeah, we know why.
On October 7th.
We know why.
When Gaza, when they went and fucking grabbed those 1,007 people, and fucking kidnapped them and raped them, killed them, and fucking humiliated them. If they would have had guns, that would have been a different story.
Whole another story. The only reason a country state division takes weapons away from the civilians is so they can come in and make you prisoner.
Well, who's trying to do that here in America? The Democrats? They don't want us to have guns.
That's the only way.
Yep.
They're trying to strip our guns.
Yep.
The fuck? You ain't disarming me.
They wanted them bitches for a long time.
No,
They've been talking about getting our guns,
bro. I'm a soldier, man, always, bro.
Coming to my door, you just gonna get a little bit. Hey, man, you got the wrong house. Keep it pushing, Pippin.
Yeah, man, I gotta go shooting, man. I promised my boy I'm gonna take him shooting. So let's go shooting, man. Let's go out to that place in Sebastian. Yeah, man. Let's take that shotgun and blow that fucker.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. No, you guys are absolutely right. And then you were asking about Netanyahu and what's his deal. So let's do a little receipt on that one too. Since you asked the question.
Netanyahu.
Here we go. We're gonna get his little background right here. Watch this. Oh.
Now enter Benjamin Netanyahu, born in Tel Aviv in 1949, allegedly, with an early life filled with shadows. He moved to the U.S. as a teen, attended high school in Pennsylvania, went to MIT, and gained U.S. citizenship. But his social security file linked to 4 different names: Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Nitai, John J. Sullivan, and John J. Sullivan Jr. His credit record? Wiped. His file? Marked confidential. The kind of status reserved for CIA, FBI, IRS, or known terrorist. So the question becomes, was Netanyahu more than just a politician? Was he groomed, planted, protected?
Yes, he was.
Because while he was coming of age, something else was being born.
Like you just said, Eddie, 9/11.
9/11. See, the thing is this, bro. Check this out. Who else was educated in America? Osama bin Laden.
That's right.
So remember this.
Yep.
When they came, they trained here in Vero Beach. Those, they trained right here.
Yep.
Right? Shooting all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You're right.
Now, mind you, we know that Israel supports a lot of fucking terrorist shit going on. Always has. Okay? So who's to say, because now we're talking about 9/11 again, that they weren't behind the whole thing when we know they were. People say, no, it was Iran or Iraq, whatever the fuck. No, it was Israel.
The Taliban or whatever.
Israel tried it the first time and they failed. The second time they got it right.
Exactly. So that
and bin Laden was an easy scapegoat, because let me tell you, man, it's easy to infiltrate a different country, culture. All you have to do is grab somebody that's in that culture, turn them to you, and flip them back to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because he knows the culture, he knows the life, he knows the language, he's lived there, he has history there.
I agree.
So these people become terrorists, but they're trained and sponsored by Israel.
Exactly.
And we are supporting Israel, so we're just as guilty in 9/11 as Israel is.
Because it's Mossad and CIA. Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Now, we know, what was it? Noriega was CIA.
Yeah.
All right. Who should say that this guy was the CIA?
This is going to show you the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You're hitting it right there. You're nailing it. You're good. You're getting having the nails going in good. It's going in. It's going into 2x4 good. Now watch.
Act 2. Project Gladio. the Shadow Blueprint.
All the terrorist bombings, all like 1947, Central Intelligence Forum. You get all these bombings, boom. Car bomb, right?
To understand modern chaos, we must first understand manufactured chaos. In 1948, the same year Israel declared statehood, another project was quietly born from the ashes of World War II, one that would reshape the battlefield not with tanks, but with terror. Its name? Project Gladio. Gladio was NATO's covert stay-behind operation, designed to activate secret paramilitary units across Western Europe in case of Soviet invasion. But that was just the surface. What it became was something much darker. Gladio operatives were trained not just to resist, but to manipulate, to plant bombs, to frame enemies, to keep the public afraid and the elites in control. From the start, Gladio was backed by MI6 and the newly formed CIA. They weren't just supporting democracies, they were shaping them, engineering outcomes, funding right-wing factions. They were suppressing dissent. Arms were hidden across Europe. Operatives were trained in sabotage, propaganda, and psychological warfare. And in Italy, where the Communist Party was rising through legal democratic means, Gladio was activated. The result? Blood in the streets. Piazza Fontana bombing, 1969. Blamed on anarchists and later linked to Gladio. Bologna massacre, 1980. 85 dead. Blamed on communists, tied to far-right elements inside NATO. This was not defense. This was orchestration. A strategy of tension. Keep the people afraid, keep them divided, and always, always justify more surveillance, more control, more war. But Gladio wasn't just European. The tactics migrated, the blueprint expanded. And in the years to come, we'd see these same methods play out in the Middle East. For example, 9/11, ISIS, October 7th, and who perfected the formula? Netanyahu.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime.
A man who studied in the West, rose through Mossad-linked networks, and governed Israel with the doctrine of fear, surveillance, and reactionary violence. He didn't just learn from Gladio, he iterated it. And while the world watched terror unfold, few noticed who benefited. Who always got more power? Who always got more funding? Q post 916, saving Israel for last. Very specific reason not mentioned a single time. Because Israel wasn't just a nation, it was a keystone in the Gladio network. Proxy, a lab, a stage. And as this machinery of deception reached its peak, a new player stepped onto the scene. Act 3, Trump, Q, and the final move.
Yeah, bro.
Right. So, like you just said, he was groomed, he was trained, he was done, did all that. So then he is Gladio. He basically is Operation Gladio.
Yeah.
You guys are so fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's that's the craziest part, like it's you're seeing who he really is and what he's all about. And and before I even got involved, before I knew you guys, before I even understood more about 9/11, I never, ever, ever trusted him. I never, even before I woke up to anything or anything like that, I never trusted him. Every time he would do something or he'd come to Congress and speak before them, before the House, and stuff, I was like, this guy's like, he's been placed there for a reason.
You see, my question is this: being supposedly a Jewish nation, he spoke about the Holocaust 80 years ago, like he said.
Yeah.
Like, why would you strip your nation of their guns? The same thing that they did to them, that the Nazis did to them.
Yeah.
Stripped them of their guns.
Yeah.
So pretty much, what are you doing? Are you just repeating history?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Did the Jews get sold out by other Jews to the Nazis?
Good question. That's a good question. Yeah.
Was there a reason why did Hitler, not to say he's some kind of hero, but did Hitler see something about the Jews that we didn't because of the way he extinguished them?
And did he really extinguish that many people too?
Okay,
exactly.
If he even did it.
Exactly. If they really killed that many people. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
You know,
now we're getting into Holocaust denying.
But the whole point is this: it's not Holocaust denying. I know it happened.
People will start to
but
think.
they talk about
That's what people start to
more
think
than
when
it
you
actually
say
happened. They talk about thousands put in the oven, maybe it was hundreds.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, people did stuff.
No, 100%. But you're getting to the point. You're questioning what did he see?
What happened? What did he see?
Exactly.
Hitler, that we didn't.
Yeah.
Project Gladio sounded like Hitler was in on that shit. Like, if you think about it, he literally wrote the book. He was the first person to pull it.
Or maybe Project Gladio could have been there to
Argentina's
kill Hitler, because remember, Germany and Italy were at war too.
But you got to think about how America came in after World War II, grabbed all those scientists. Argentina now has released that they had Hitler hidden over there for a while before he passed away. That fucking Russia was lying that they had his skull. They released all the files.
Motherfucker was eating rice and beans and plátano.
But think about that though. These people use the same fucking recipe that Hitler used to take over Europe. Same recipe. This motherfucker was at the helm.
Yeah, that's what they do. They fund it, like he said. Yeah.
Like I told you, America, anything that's illegal, anything that make profit, anything they can make money, they soup it up, shoot it with steroids. Our government, that's what they do. Anything that's bad and they saw it made money, they soup it up. How can we fucking turn this thing into a monster?
Turn it around, yeah.
And use it to our benefit.
Yeah.
Anything.
You know, the whole system is rigged, and for it to get unrigged, it has to be broken and destroyed.
Exactly. Yep.
I'm not talking about our Constitution. I'm talking about the system. The system that's put in place today, the system that's been in place for 100 years.
Well, thousands of years.
Well, I'm talking about here in America.
I know, but I mean, worldwide, this is a worldwide thing, yeah.
But I'm talking about us, and here in America, we've been corrupted for a long time. And the system has been controlling Americans for a long time. They supposedly stopped slavery, but they didn't, because we became slaves to the system. You know what I mean? And it's the truth, That's why you got us 1%ers that we say, fuck the system, and that's for real, and I try not to break the law, but I do as much as possible. Just keeping it 100, bro. Fuck that. I'm not going to change the game. It's just, the point about the system, the system is here to control you. I remember as a child, my mother was on welfare, Medicaid, all that fucking free stuff. She was part of the system. And, she would dress nice. But when she had to go report to welfare, she had other clothes that she would wear. She would take off all her jewelry, because they couldn't know that you were doing okay. They had to see that you were doing bad. Crazy, huh? Right, I remember that bro, as a child, because they used to have to go report, say what they did, because they give them money for food, money for rent, money for light. Just live in this 15-minute city. Bullshit. You don't need a car because you can use the subway. But you don't need the subway because there's a bodega across the street and there's a liquor store right down the block.
You got
fried
everything you need.
and a church down the street.
Exactly.
So all we gotta do is walk 15 minutes. So it takes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
And pay that fucking elevator work. I lived on the 20th floor for a minute.
That's where it
20K.
came from.
Pray that
15
elevator work.
15 minutes.
Oh,
City,
yeah,
that's
I
where,
told
that's
you
where it
the
came
projects
from.
was
That's where
that.
it came from.
The projects,
Right.
what they call the PJs,
Right.
was just that. We were the project. They wanted to see if they could put hundreds of families together with one basketball court and see what happens. It's like putting a bunch of mice in a fucking cage with one piece of cheese. They're gonna kill each other, bro.
Oh.
And that's what happened in the parks. The basketball court, no one can play in it
Nobody can play.
unless you were a badass motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, you had to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
A lot of people got shot in that basketball court because they were playing without fucking permission. You understand?
Yeah.
The project, we were the project, bro.
Yeah.
They had a precinct right down the block too, a police precinct. Back then, remember, I'm a baby boomer. Back then, they used to walk to beat the motherfuckers.
Yeah, they did. Not anymore.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then they walk as.
Nah, but they used to beat you with a stick, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
I'm just telling you, the project was just that. We were the project. We were fucking mice put in a fucking cage. I remember, bro. That fucking elevator didn't work, and we had groceries. That was a motherfucker.
20 flights of stairs.
Oh, dude, I remember walking up 20 flights of stairs with groceries, and then you got to go back down and get the rest.
You got me fucked up. I'm making one trip. It's all the way up my arms.
Nah,
everything.
nigga, by the time you got upstairs, you couldn't wait to hit them fucking frosted flakes, bro. Because food stamps, bro, you can buy frosted flakes, Twinkies,
right,
Yank Doodles, all kinds of shit, bro. So for the fucking now that had to last a month, right? But the refrigerator was full for 4 days. After that, you're looking for fucking government cheese and fucking big can of peanut butter that you get wait online.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, bro. Fucking, I remember grilled cheese sandwiches, bro. That was a big thing in my house.
Oh, that's classic.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah, get that fucking government cheese. It's that sliced cheese you get from Publix, bro.
Right.
Same shit.
Right. That's funny. I would give a shout out to Caps, but they were closed today.
Well, let's give them a shout out anyway,
give a
man.
shout.
Hell yeah, Caps is closed this week. They deserve a fucking break. So go ahead, John.
They on vacation. So,
but we were sponsored today by.
We're gonna do we'll do a little sponsor with Blackout Coffee. We're affiliate sponsor now, so now we can put the link out there. So if anybody purchases through our link, if anybody purchases it through our link, we get a percentage of the.
Oh, nice! So pick up this coffee. It's right here.
Yeah.
I had some in the shop, man. I gotta tell you, they got a blueberry flavor. The blueberry is delicious, bro. Yeah. And the other one tastes really good. It's probably the best coffee I've had in the can. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
Really good coffee. So I'm gonna be carrying this at my shop. So make sure you guys drop by Curly. We'll be carrying this stuff soon.
Yep, we got all the other stuff. They got the other different coffees, the Brutal Awakening coffee, the Morning Reaper. They got instant, and they got bagged, and they got some cool merch too.
They got some nice merchandise too. I think you wear one of their shirts now. Yeah,
I'm wearing one right now.
So John's a representative for this company, man. So if you guys need any kind of, you guys want to make a purchase, you know somebody at Publix or Cumberland's. Give us a call. We'll give you, I'm sure John will give you a percentage.
Yeah, we'll give you something. Support the show. Support.
Yeah. So you're supporting the show, man.
Yeah, support our different blends and all that.
Yeah, we don't really take sponsors. Like this is something that John is doing. Like we don't do sponsors because we don't want to be told what the fuck to say. But we always appreciate your support. Like we pay for our own stuff. Caps does support the food 99.9% of the time. Yep. Today, Blackout Coffee did it through John, and we appreciate that. So we got some ribs and some French fries. So I'm getting ready to tear some of that shit up in a minute.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, man. So just want to say thanks, man, to Blackout Coffee, man. If you guys had any questions, please hit us up on the link, man.
Yeah, I'll shoot the link out there on the show description and all our social media pages as well. Yep. So we appreciate it, guys. Appreciate that. Just like and subscribe, share the show, all that good stuff. We're getting some new viewers on Rumble, I see. So we're building that up. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so one of the things I was talking to John about last week's show, I used to watch American Choppers, and one of the things about the show that really made it popular was Pop and son were always beefing, always arguing. And people love that shit. Because I got to tell you, last week we went from 23
right
to 296 in like seconds.
Yeah.
You know, people like to hear the argument.
Yeah, they did for sure. Right.
But I tell you, you know, and one of the things that John knows me from always from the, I like to do my own research, and a lot of times I'm wrong, and I'm okay with that. But you know, convince me. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You know what I mean? Like, show me.
That's it.
You know, because you know, it took me a long time to see what's going on in this country. Like, it's taken a lot of yous a long time. A lot of yous may still be blind to the system. But you know, but once you wake up, you start seeing things differently, you know, and John was a big help on that. So a lot of times, you know, I get on John because there's certain things that, you know, that he thinks and I listen to it, but I'm a guy, I want to hear it, you know, so I want to see it, you know, show me. And so I did some of the research just to show John is correct. No troops were sent by Trump. And no troops have been sent. He sent out some planes, but they just there to police. I think they're there more to see what Israel's doing. You know, so I think we're awake to Israel. So just want to give my apologies for that. But I'm not apologizing for arguing with John because that's something that we do all the fucking time anyway. It's a true story, you know what I mean?
Well, things are happening.
I love him. He's my best friend, you know.
Things are happening so fast that, you know, it's hard to keep up. So it's a lot of times it's like that 48-hour view, like what's going on, let's see what happens. You know, he drops a bomb on the nuclear plates, and it's like, okay, well, what's going on now? Why is he doing that? And then why is, you know, Israel going against Trump now? And then he's dropping bombs when he said they wouldn't. You know, it's like it's a game of chess, and like we said last podcast, there's only a few more moves left on this game of
He
chess.
gave them 2 weeks. Like, let's see what happened. There's a ceasefire now. There hasn't been anything thrown back and forth.
Yeah, no, but this is the tweet he put out right here.
So I think that
that's it. That was the one he put out where he said it was a ceasefire. The next thing you know, Israel bombed him. And that's why he got
Israel
mad.
within the hour.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It's like Israel don't want to fucking stop the war because they're getting funded by. I mean, Europe funds them too, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so they get funded by other countries. Trump may stop the fucking pipeline, but they're still getting residual shit from us too.
Like I told you, this shit cut off after you think the UK going to support it after United States pull out. I don't know. It wouldn't be smart. It just wouldn't be fucking smart. If you see that they don't want to end it. We just called a ceasefire an hour ago, and y'all just fucking out of nowhere that's not only
doesn't make sense.
That's not only proactive, like it's not proactive at all. And then fucking it goes against everything we trying to do for you.
I could tell you this too, Rondell.
That's right.
You're talking, and I'll say this, that right now, Iran reached out to Russia, and Russia denied Iran. Russia reached out to America and told Trump, if you need help with Iran, Trump told them, you need help with you to take care of yourself.
Yeah. I need help.
You need to take care of your shit. Okay, you heard it too.
And I think that I caught that, and what I'm thinking that's a planting a seeding narrative again to, like, I have a feeling that eventually something's going to happen, like we said before, some kind of false flag, and Russia's going to need to be helping America.
Yeah, I think they're going to come together. That's the reason why the Democrats hate Russia so much.
Yes, because that's Nostradamus predicted that.
The bear and the eagle coming together.
The
eagle and the bear.
Yeah, it's in the book of Revelation. You just said it.
Yep. Yeah, bear and the eagle coming together.
Yeah, they come together, bro.
See? Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you. That's why he said, I need help with you.
When we speak about that, we're speaking about the end times. Now, when we speak about the end times, you and I both know that the end times only mean the ends of those times.
End of the age.
End of the age.
Exactly.
End of age. That's what the word God says, right? The end of age.
End of ages.
So when we see the end of times, it's the end of the age.
Yes.
So what happened will stay there. It's end of that.
Yes.
We're going to come into the new heaven and the new earth, just us. We may be able to see it in this lifetime, which I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
but if not, I know my grandkids and my children will see it.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. See, I see that so clearly, though.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
I see that so clearly.
Because you were chosen to see it clearly. You were chosen to see it ahead of time. We all were. That's the thing. We all got activated.
I already told you, I believe I'm one of the 144,000, bro.
Yeah, we've seen it already. You already see it because the birds are singing already. They're like, you hear them singing every morning because we're already in it. We're there. We're just having to watch it play out. This is what's playing out. The movie, like I told you, it's playing out to where people are going, "Oh, what's going on, Netanyahu? You know, he has 4 different names."
But you know something?
It exposes people.
When Netanyahu was the first person to call Biden,
exactly.
I kind of
knew exactly.
Then is when I saw the two things.
Yeah, there you go. Now you really see it.
I saw it then.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the first one.
Well, because you put the glasses on and you're like, "Oh, why is he calling him first?"
Yeah. So no, it only showed me he's a turncoat and a traitor. Like right now, he's turning against Trump, thinking that he's more powerful than Trump.
Well, no, he thinks he doesn't think he's more powerful than Trump. He thinks that Trump's going to come to his rescue.
No, because Trump's not going to come to his rescue.
That's
Trump is seeing now.
Exactly.
Can't no more.
Trump is seeing who Netanyahu really is, bro.
I agree with you. That's what we were talking about last week. It was like, I'm saying he's not going to come to his rescue. He's not going to do it. He can't.
No.
He can't. We'll be
Remember,
screwed.
the other thing about Trump, right? Trump is not a president that ever wants to start a war.
Nope. We know that already because we know the
he
past.
never wants to start
Future
a war.
proves past because he didn't do it before.
And that's his thing. And he doesn't want to start a war. He wants to end wars.
Exactly. Yep.
But that's coming back to that new earth.
Yeah. It's funny you said that because I have that video, that New Earth video that you and I watched that one time. You want to play that?
That's why people see what people the fuck I'm telling. They think I'm crazy.
Yeah. You're right. You just said the New Earth, and I actually pulled this up today, and it's funny you said that because now I already have it teed up, which is kind of crazy. But this is a great little video about it. Explains what's really happening on the Earth besides the political part and the biblical part. It's really just the Earth is shifting with us.
No linear solutions to the moral, fiscal, and environmental crisis we face today. All attempts to handle these issues with the old mindset are doomed to an awful and protracted failure. As strange as this may seem, it is actually very good news. These are ideal conditions for the one element which promises a dynamic solution to the insurmountable problems plaguing the planet today. The radical transformation of consciousness. This is the wild card in the deck. These conditions constitute precisely the right environment needed for radical transformation. Human consciousness is notoriously asleep when things are comfortable, predictable, and certain. Ancient initiation rites always involved facing the unknown and the very real possibility of annihilation. We find ourselves at a unique point in the evolution of human consciousness. A tumultuous time of unprecedented change and transformation. What is being called for is a new vision. One which embraces coexistence and co-creation over domination and exploitation. A quantum leap in the awareness of how we see ourselves. As we experience the dissolution of the old order, it is apparent that many across the world are experiencing a new sense of empowerment, asserting the desire for peace and respect for all beings. Millions are experiencing a sense of connection and unification. This is a planet in transition. A new Earth is being born. world nested in loving kindness.
Let's put the link on.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we'll put the link on to this, the rest of this video. Let me tell you, we saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
It's an amazing movie. You have to watch it. And it's what I'm talking about, this new earth and how we get to a different, dimension. And, it's like we transcend, the Bible speaks about us transcending, going into our new bodies. And, I see it happening, like, I don't know. I just see the transformation happening. It's like, it's an amazing thing, and there's obstacles and it's a journey, but you just have to trust the process and just move forward, because it's a beautiful thing.
And a lot of it talks about peace and justice like that. That's what has to come.
Yeah.
Justice has to be served in order for peace to reign on the planet.
The end of age.
Exactly.
The end of the age where
that's why I play
that corruption and all that is exposed, like it's being exposed now, and all that stuff is in the past.
Yeah.
And we live this new free life. And there are going to be some who are going to stay behind. They're going to live that miserable life.
Exactly.
I guess we need that balance in a sense.
Yeah.
But we're going to choose to live in the new earth where they're going to still be stuck living in that.
No, the
grind,
frequency. Well, it's a frequency. Right. It's not a place. It's not a place of being. It's a frequency. So you'll still be amongst the earth, but you'll be in a different frequency.
But you see, it's so real to me.
Yeah.
That I see it more than just a frequency. I see it as a place, because you see, how can I say? It's like it becomes real when you look at it that way. Because if you speak to people, most people about frequency, they're gonna say, "What are you talking about?"
That's true.
A frequency, you get there, like kindness, gratitude, love.
Yeah.
These are the things that get you to a higher frequency. You can stay in a low frequency with hate, anger, bitterness, all this other shit.
A lot of that is victimhood. Like you're the victim.
Yeah, that bullshit.
Victim. Yeah, I'm the victim.
You got to live in a higher frequency, and it's hard sometimes, especially in a struggle.
Yeah,
business wise, things have been a struggle. Personally, things have been a struggle. But I can tell you that I gotta. And I always say this, that you could be positive and not be happy. You know what I mean? You could be very positive and not be happy.
It's called a false positive.
Right. So, but not really, because
it's a lot of times the happiness is manufactured with certain things.
Because you could, hey, what's happening? How you doing, bro? Oh shit, everything is awesome. Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah.
But you can't fake gratitude.
It's authenticity. Yeah.
Kindness, love, that can't be fake. That cannot be counterfeited. The enemy is not able to do that. The evil one is not able to counterfeit that. Yes, he can create opposites: hate, love, hate, kindness, cruelness.
Like woke and awake.
Woke and awake. All these things. He confuses people with words. Remember, he is the author of lies. When he lies, he speaks his native tongue.
Yes.
Okay? So we have to realize that, and
you're right.
Manipulation.
Well, see what that video said. No more exploitation. Co-creation over exploitation. Like there's no exploiting the human race. The human race is being exploited to live in a super oligarchy. That was what was going to happen. And that if Hillary would have won and all those things, if you go political, so that's what would have happened. Now we're living in the new timeline, because remember, it's a different timeline. It's a timeline shift. We're in a different timeline. We're in more positive timeline. We're not in a total destruction, annihilation timeline. See, that's what that video said too. Like we're not on that. There's always that threat of a real annihilation, but it's only just a threat. It's only fear. It's a fear-based reality that we create with our consciousness, right? Because we create it with our thoughts and our words. So if we talk about peace and justice and abundance for all, then that's what will manifest. That will manifest for everyone. Everyone should have abundance. Everybody should not live in fear and live in scarcity and lack and all that. That's all made up. That's all manufactured. It's all by design. Like I've been saying for 4 years on this podcast, which I think we're on our 4-year anniversary actually today.
Wow, yeah.
The 24th, yeah.
We lit.
4 years on the show.
222 episodes.
Wow.
So it's 4 years. June 2021, the first day we did the podcast.
And this started as a conversation, you and I just talking.
Yeah.
And then
this is
we
it.
did it. We did one show. Not really. We didn't even produce the show. We never did it. We recorded a show, you and I, but we never did it until Rondell came into the picture.
We never put one out without. Yeah,
we did try. We got the mic. We did it for a half hour, and then we never put it out.
No.
But and then I don't know, man. Rondell had come to the shop to bring me something, and you met him, and it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, you haven't missed a show, Del.
No, we've been doing it
4 years, bro.
4 years, dude. Today's 4 years.
Wow.
Yep. It was the 20. We recorded it on the 21st of June, and then we put it out on the 25th.
We didn't go live back then. We used to record Tuesday, put it out Friday.
Yeah.
3 at 4:20
p.m. Yeah.
4:20.
Fridays at 4:20.
Yeah, Fridays at 4:20. And then we started doing Wednesday at 4:20 because the news was getting old. Remember?
Yep. Yeah. That's what it was. No, literally, that's like, think about how this show's evolved. Like, we used to put it out on Fridays, record on Tuesday, and it was, the news cycle wasn't that fast, so it wasn't old news by then. Yeah. And eventually, we were like, by the time it comes out Friday, it was like after
old news already.
Yeah, it was like, man, it was like about a year and a half in. I was like, we need to just put it out the next day.
And everything.
Yeah, and now we're just going live because that's really what it comes down to. Things are happening so fast. But
you know something, nothing's changed though, because we were never scripted.
No.
We never, just one episode we kind of cut short for a different reason.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. That was good. That was a good thing we did too.
Good thing we did that one. But anyway,
I'm glad that was not. Yeah. I don't care what else is out there, but I'm glad that one's not out there.
But anyway, so but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep that.
Right.
But anyway, just to put it out there, the good thing is that things have been getting better at the shop. They are picking up. I'm smoking. I got a joint.
Yep.
Things have been picking up in the shop. I would like some clients at the gym. I'm gonna put a plug out. Can you change the gym? Because I tell you, one of the things that I really believe in strongly, and you know this, John and Rondell, because you've both been in the gym, is that working out is so. I mean, we talk about being positive.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to be positive when you can't breathe going up a set of stairs. You know what I mean?
That's so true. That's so true.
And seriously, what you eat. That's why I like now that we got Kennedy out there, doing food. I want to see more of what's going on, more stuff being taken out of these foods, for these kids. Because I'm going to tell you, when I grew up in the 70s, bro, there weren't a lot of fat people.
No.
I mean, I was a little chunky, I was a little chunky because I tell you about those Yankee Doodles and all that shit.
But you grew out of the heaviness. But you grew out of the heaviness because it was the baby fat. It was you were just short. People grew out of it. But like you said, people are big now. They're just
people
some big
people now, bro.
There's some big people.
I tell you, there's some big folk
because there's all the chemicals that are in the food.
All the shit that's in the food here.
It's total garbage.
That's what come really, man. Really, if you guys are looking to get better, feel better about yourself, talk about being positive, check us out at Game Changer,
Mm-hmm.
We do some private training there. It's a nice gym, and I make it happen for you. I mean, there's proof in the pudding. I got an invite there that we do every week, and if something don't change, I'll give you back your money.
Nice.
That's the real.
That's awesome.
So I know things change if you do what I ask you to do. Keep to a diet and work out 3 times a week. That's all I'm asking. Let's do this. You know what I mean? 45 minutes to an hour, I can make it happen. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do 70% of the time, which is eating, maybe walking, not sitting on your ass watching television. You know what I mean?
Tell lies to your vision. Just tell them it's tell lies to your vision.
Telling lies to your vision.
Tell lies to the vision.
But what it is television. So it is. It's
telling a vision.
Yeah,
it's really telling a vision.
Yeah, telling.
It's not even that it's lies. It's just telling a bit. They are lies too. They're telling you, but they're telling you. And I used to tell Quinn all the time about TV when he was young. When I first started picking up on all that, was like, what they tell you on the news is what they want you to believe. That's it. And that's what my father used to say. It's all make believe. I never understood what he meant by that, but it's all make believe.
John, one of the things in the Bible that Jesus used to do is that he spoke in parables.
Yeah.
Why did he do that? Because he wanted to give people a vision of what he was saying. Television does pretty much the same thing.
Right.
They want to, because he wanted to convince people that he was the truth. Right? Television wants to do the same thing, but they do it, they flip it.
Like the devil.
So now they tell the devil. Exactly.
Deceive.
Because if God is the word, he doesn't say he's something that you see. He's the word you hear right?
Yeah.
Vision is something you see.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? What was the first sin? If you remember, Eve saw the apple and she sinned.
Yeah.
The eyes are evil. The eyes bring a lot of evil. They greed, a lot of things.
Yeah.
But the eyes
you hear, remember, here, not what you speak, what you hear comes faith, comes fear. The things that you hear.
Wow.
Vision makes that, like he used to speak in parables, vision makes their lies in parables.
Yeah.
For you to see the lies, and then you believe them because you're seeing them with your own eyes that tell lies. Telling lies to your vision, boy.
There it is.
That's fact.
That is.
Is it right or wrong, John?
No, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. I mean, Trump, there was a video here today about, he was talking about, what was it? I'll pull it up. He was talking about the news, the media, and they call it, media, Medea, it's the same thing too. It's deception. So he tells you right here, he knows. I mean, he was one of the first ones to pay fake news.
This is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch the garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
You know what I like about him, bro? He calls you out, bro.
And then what you just said about the devil and that media and Medea. What is the devil? The devil's a loser. He comes to steal and deceive, and destroy. So he's a loser. He's the ultimate loser. He's not the winner. God wins. He's over. It's done. And that's what Trump's saying. They're losers. They're pathetic. He knows it. He's telling you, stop watching that shit. They're not telling you the truth. They're lying to you. It's so obvious. Mike from To The Point said, when our last conversation was deep. We were getting to what we were just getting into. That's great. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, whatever you can do. We're trying to get some new listeners on X. We've been getting a lot of new followers there as well. So it's been we've been building up a little bit these last couple of weeks, I guess, because of the arguments.
Well, it's been going
that. Arguments are good, bro.
Right? It was good.
We ain't throwing punches.
We're just putting it out there, man. That's the whole point. You got to put it out there and just, speak our truth like we've been saying on the show for 4 years now. I mean, it's been 4
Check this
years.
Out. The Medes were a nation of very high antiquity. We find a notice of them in a primitive Babylonian history of Berrios, who says that the Medes conquered Babylon at the very remote period of BC 2458. And that Median monarchs reigned there. Yeah, so they were evil people, dude.
Yeah. That's where media comes from.
Wow,
the word media.
3000 BC before Christ, bro. Oh shit.
That's where the word media comes from. Medea. Media. Just like pharmakia.
Why not call it bottle? Why did they call it Medea?
Exactly. Just like pharmaceutical, pharmakia. It's sorcery. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same. The words are what they get. Words
symbols. The symbol for a fucking pharmaceutical is
the
so you drive up and down the fucking liquor stores, it's wine and spirits.
Exactly.
Yeah, go in there and get some spirits in you, boy.
Man, y'all gotta watch
listen,
Book of Clarence. I know y'all ain't
but I
watched
tell you
Book of
this, bro.
Clarence?
It shows the wine
I drink out the
experience,
devil,
all
bro.
that shit.
Straight
like,
up.
Yeah.
Rondell knows. Rondell seen me. You never seen me drunk.
No, I never seen it.
Rondell?
No, I wasn't
wine experience.
See, I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. Rondell knows.
I'd have
He's
been
seen
like,
my ass drunk.
The spirits.
Yeah, I don't even get drunk.
Any
Bro.
spirits.
No, man. You're talking about evil spirits. It hits some people differently, man.
It does.
You know, you got alcoholics like myself that I can't fucking drink because I act like it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Like literally, bro, we be sitting in a fucking like every family event. Somebody say one wrong thing to Eddie, bro. It's just like
It's all over. Yeah.
you know what? Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I believe it. I mean,
I'm quick to say, fuck
I
this,
believe, yeah, because I did. You have that personality, so the spirit likes that. So the spirit's like, I can get Eddie to really go off. I like jumping that box.
That's why I don't drink.
Yeah, Mr. Smith on
Going
steroids.
on 10
He's sitting there like this behind you.
years. 10 years now.
10 years.
10 years.
Let me in there.
I know. He's been waiting. He's been sitting there going, I want to get in on that fucker.
Nah,
Let me get in. I miss that guy.
No.
We had some fun, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Oh, bro, yes, we did. We had a lot of fun.
See, and that's kind of what's happening on the planet. We're not giving our power away to that spirit
I don't
anymore.
fuck with that.
So that's part of the erasing the
I don't give a
ascension.
fuck on pharmaceuticals.
That's what I
You know.
mean. So that's where you raise your frequency. So that helps with the transition and the new Earth. Right?
I take a ton of vitamins, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah. No, but that's
I don't
a
fuck around
big
with
part of it. So the spirits can't get that it's called loose energy. So they can't get that loose energy from you no more. You're
Because
not
what? Now we go back to frequency.
exactly.
Because
You're
the
a
truth
you're a
is,
battery.
if you can't get it up a flight of stairs, how's your frequency?
Exactly. It's low, way
You
low.
gotta fucking feel like
Yeah,
shit.
You gotta lighten your load.
You got a fucking 8-year-old that wants to throw a ball, but you're too busy eating potato chips, watching TV. You know, watching TV. You're too tired.
Too tired. I
You
used
to
to
fucking play ball with your kid.
the years way before I started to wake things up. I used to fall asleep on the couch all the time, dude. I used to sit there and just lay on the couch and fall asleep on the couch, and I wouldn't even bother getting up. I'd be like, I'll just lay here and fucking watch the Eagle game all day, all football all the time. And then I realized, like, wow, that was crazy. Like I'd crash out on the couch all the time like that, and I don't do that at all. Ever.
I'm guilty. I still watch my fucking Law and Order.
Well, no, but that's your guilty pleasure. You do that. I do that. I've been watching Apprentice. I binge watched Apprentice with Trump. I just like watching and see how he is on the show because I never watched it before. So now I like watching. Like, oh, this is
I used to
great.
watch.
Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun. But when you go back and go watch it, though, you see how generous that he is, and
You know, he made millionaires out of that shit.
I know, and so he helped people's careers get better. He actually cared about, like, Dennis Rodman was having some problems with alcohol, and Dennis got help, and he had him come back on the show, and he tells him how proud he is of him, and
Bro,
he
sent the jet out to get Nelson Mandela when nobody else wanted.
yeah, of course.
Nobody else wanted to help Nelson Mandela. He was the one that he sent out a private jet.
That's why I watch it, because I like to see, like, the stuff that I didn't pay attention to when I was laying on the couch falling asleep watching the football game.
I don't know why the media. I mean, we know what the media is, but I don't know why they don't say the truth about the man.
Because they can't. They can't. He just told you why. he just told you. He told you why, because they're
How is it? The truth must be realized.
Yeah. No. You got to realize with your real eyes. Oh yeah.
The truth must be realized.
Yeah, you cannot. The truth cannot be told. It has to be realized. Exactly.
Right.
The truth cannot be told. It must be realized. Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Is that it has to be realized. And we go back to that fucking B-rated movie, They Live, where you put on the glasses, and such a simple fucking movie, but
they can recreate that shit, bro.
Bro, they need to fucking remake that movie, bro. But I tell you, bro,
watch that shit, bro. Like I can be out if you watch that,
bro.
Like,
it wakes you up to
they
realize,
can really redo that shit and it'd be a fire. Like Jordan Peele could redo that movie, bro, and it'd be fucking crazy, bro.
That would be a
I
fucking
know Jordan Peele would make that shit crazy.
It would tell too much truth.
Yeah, way too much, especially on my bass lines in the background, all the fucking the
especially if you're going through COVID.
this is your life.
Yeah.
This is what the
money.
fuck
But that's
is
when I
ever.
saw it when it was through COVID.
Yeah. That's what
I
you
mean,
said.
the
Yeah.
second time you
That's
see
what
it,
I'm doing. What I'm saying, if you remade They Live, and then the signs would say like "Wear your mask," and then you put the glasses on, you know, be like "Wear your mask."
oh
fuck,
shit!
right?
You don't need a weapon.
Take the vaccine.
You don't need a
You
weapon.
don't need a gun. Yeah, you don't need a gun.
Give up your gun.
Give up. Yeah, exactly.
Obey.
Yeah, you would see other. You'd see other good subliminal messages that even be more a lot deeper.
Bro, you gotta watch They Live. It's
You
a
know.
B-rated movie. I mean, you know, with Rowdy Piper, but I gotta tell you, bro, the movie is fucking sick. It'll
Great.
wake you up. It was one of the first things I saw. I mean, I was already kind of awake. Like I told John, I always told John, he put words to what I already knew. So the movie just fucking made me realize a lot of things too. Again, the truth must be realized. And when I saw the movie, it was a B-rated movie. So the first time I saw it, it was kind of like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
You used to all this fucking spectacular shit.
Yeah.
Epic shit, like Gladiator. You fucking watch, you know, this
Bro, I
movie,
realized
yeah.
that first 5
But
minutes
the
in.
second time I saw it, you see things different. Like, holy shit. Really? Wow.
See, me, I see shit different. Like, just because y'all told me what this was gonna be, I watched the entire fucking thing. Like, if I ran into that movie like by myself, I wouldn't have watched it all.
No, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
But because y'all said watch it,
yeah.
I'm watching this shit. How when he was in the homeless camp and shit, like this shit is tripping me the fuck out. That these motherfuckers was right across the street doing this shit right in front of everybody, and nobody doing that.
Well, there's another part where I mean, it gets a little deeper than probably people.
Oh yeah,
but there's a part in it where the one guy, when they're sitting in the homeless camp, and the one guy sitting at the TV, and the subliminal message pop on the TV, he tells them to turn the TV off, and eventually at the end you see him in the tunnels with the tuxedo on, and he's got one of the wireless watches. Well, he turncoated, so he ratted on. That's why the homeless camp got infiltrated, because he ratted and told the elites where they were making the glasses and all that. And then he ended up with a tuxedo and had money. He's like, and that's when he told the guys, like, we all sell out every day. Why not be on the winning team? You know, because he sold out. So he was in the camp and ratted on the camp.
That, bro.
That part, it took me a minute.
Even that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta watch it again, bro.
I've watched
We
it.
gotta watch it
Yeah,
again.
I've watched it enough times. And there's a part, though, the part where they catch him is that the cops are walking up to him while they're invading the camp, and the cops are walking up to him. And what they do is they swipe him up and they take him away, and he gets away for free because he's
2
with
or
them.
3 grams of the
Oh,
bars.
Hell no, I'm not watching that shit on that.
You gotta watch
Motherfuckers
trip
with
the
their
fuck
face
out of
skin
some
out.
mushrooms and watch that motherfucker.
I'm straight.
But I haven't tripped in a minute, bro. I got a couple of bars left.
I actually did do that one time. I watched it like that.
Yeah.
And it was pretty intense.
What was it that we watched
It was pretty
tripping
intense.
balls? Bro? Oh, the Matrix, the last one.
Yeah.
We were tripping balls. We at the cave.
New one, yeah.
At the cave, we had like an event. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
We had the big screen back then. Remember?
Cave,
Yeah, the cave was fucking the shit.
Right, dude. Yeah.
You know, I ate shrooms one time. You know what I watched? Last time I ate shrooms and watched something, fucking Dark Knight.
Oh, that's
the one with Bane.
Yeah,
okay.
That's good. That's my favorite.
When I tell you, my stupid ass, the theater's fucking packed. We late as
What
fuck.
was it I watched?
Trying to eat fucking the shrooms and shit. We late as fuck. Movie is about like it's already started. So we walk into the plane getting snatched to pieces,
dude.
And we sitting in the fucking like third row.
Oh,
I'm sitting in this bitch, and my heart I'm like, I don't know when this shit gonna hit me. But when this plane got ripped in half and this motherfucker started monologuing, I said, bro, this motherfucker finna be crazy.
It was.
I said, oh shit,
Right?
this motherfucker ain't fucking. I said, bro, I'm expecting like, bro, I wish Bane was bigger.
Right.
I said, no, this motherfucker Tom Hardy snapped on this shit.
dude.
I said, oh, bro, he went in on that bitch, bro. He was
Tom
like,
Hardy's a good actor.
bro, he went crazy with Bane. I'm talking about, bro, I'm in this bitch hurt thumping. I'm sweating.
Right.
Watching the movie, bro. I'm so fucking I'm gone.
Yeah,
I'm gone.
Yeah, dude.
That's a great movie.
I think the last time I shroomed out and watched the movie, I went to the theater and we took Roman, bro. Me and Josh, we took Roman, and Jared went with us. We do Marvel together. Me and the boys. So it was a Marvel movie, man. And me and Josh wanted to trip out. So we fucking split a bar, bro. We fucking ate the bar, right? We chilled in the shop, smoked a couple of joints, you know, fed Roman. Yeah. Then we went to the movie and we fucking watched it, bro. When I sat down, it was as soon as I sat down, the first You on Kmart?
But you know, you can't sleep on those shrooms.
Bro.
I hate that. I
And then the fucking previews came out. By the time the movie came out, I was already in a different fucking zone, bro.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit, bro. You're talking about enjoying a fucking which one? I'm trying to think about what was the last Marvel movie, man?
Was it Captain America or Thor?
Nah, I think it was Captain America, dude.
Huh.
Yeah. I think it was Captain America that he's fighting the other dude. The other Captain America that he's dressed in black or some shit.
Oh, you talk about Winter Soldier?
Yeah. So that was fucking sick.
Fuck. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They was jumping motherfuckers in that movie. That was crazy.
Jurassic is
that's just gonna drop.
Yeah, July 2nd.
That's
I mean,
gonna be
fucking
crazy.
shroom out that day.
Right. What the fuck?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't play with them shits like that, bro.
I haven't been to the movies in years.
Something about going to the movie theater. You should watch a movie like Jurassic Park.
I don't even have a
I keep a pack of shrooms.
Yeah, dude.
I don't ever have. Yeah.
You got regular or you got chocolate bars?
Chocolate.
Oh, I got chocolate.
Yeah.
I like to make me a tea.
Nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have to get some more.
Yeah, we got to get some more. I'm still trying to get some DMT.
A raw fucking.
So if you're listening,
right.
DMT powder, please.
Right.
Anyway, I gotta tell you, bro, tripping is cool. DMT is a different story.
Yeah, I'll wait like another 10 years before I touch
You
that
haven't
shit
done,
again.
you never done DMT?
I've done it.
Yeah, he did.
I've done it, but I'm gonna wait before y'all did it.
Let me tell you, bro.
I told y'all to do it, remember?
I gotta tell you, John, that powder, lasted us a minute, dude.
Yeah, no. You the thing is, you don't need
I
much.
had it when they were making it and it looked like dabs.
Yeah.
No, that's how he had it.
I had
the
it.
powder is way better.
I blasted off
I'm talking about
The first time I did it was here.
in
It
this
was
room.
in this room.
In this room.
With the vape.
Yeah.
But
in
when
this
I
room.
did it with the powder,
In this room, he did it.
bro, it takes you to a different
It was in
dimension.
this
No
room.
shit, and it's quick, bro.
Yeah.
You go. By the time you blow out, you're already fucking seeing colors. Fucking, it's beautiful, bro. Wow, bro. An amazing experience. 20, 30 minutes, bro. That's how the podcast got created because my office was set up. I had 2 white chairs, right? And I had a little chair in the middle, and I have them in the shop now, the fucking Yoda. The baby Yoda, I had him on one of the chairs. So John passed by, and I'm talking to the fucking Yoda. I'm bugging out, right? And John comes by, and we start talking about building a podcast. He's sitting in the other chair, and we're laughing, and he's saying he's dead. He was trying to get out, and we just fucking start talking about building a podcast. And that's when I said, "Real as fuck." That's before I even knew about Andy Frisella's podcast, Real as Fuck. Because remember, John said, "Oh shit, there's a podcast, bro." And I started listening to the podcast. It really inspired us to do it. And we started with the one mic, 4 years ago today.
That's it.
We started with the one microphone
right
in the shop, not even in the office, in the shop, in the middle of the shop, when we just fucking the N-word.
I remember I told you about DMT, and you was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Bro, it makes you dream." You was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Yeah, your body already makes it." You was like, "I gotta see," and I sent you the documentary.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, "Yeah, this shit. Trust me, bro. This is
So when
something you
John
want
told
to try."
me he had it,
Yeah, bro, that fucked me up that you said you got the show.
I was like, "Oh shit!" But he had it in the vape form, which was nice. It took me to it for a 10-minute ride.
Never do
When you do the powder, bro, we were doing sandwiches. You get some bud, put it in between them. We put some bud on top, bro. You take 2 hits of that. I'm gonna tell you, bro. It's the most amazing thing. I mean, one time I did it by myself. I told John. I did it by myself, and I set up the screen in front of me to go psychedelic and all kinds of shit. I was in the shop, sitting in my high chair, and I took my hit. And let me tell you, bro, that I was talking to God, bro. They talk about that you die and you talk to God. True story, bro. That I remember I was thanking God, thanking God, thanking God, thanking God. That was my trip. I kept on saying, thank God. You guys know me, always God bless and thank God. Well, I kept on saying, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. And God stopped me, bro. And he said, you did it. I said, I did it. Yeah. And he informed me that all he did was put the opportunity in front of me like he does every day to all of us.
Right.
All we have to do is take the opportunity. And that's what I did, is that I believed so much that it was God, and I did it because it wasn't me, I thought, but it was God. But when God revealed to me, no, you did this.
Really?
And he reminded me fucking getting on a ladder, nailing shit up on the cave and, doing the things I did to make it happen. That John went on a weekend trip. When he came back, the screen was up. He was like, what the fuck? Yeah. It was me by myself. Yeah. I was zoned out really high, and I did it. And God reminded me of that. DNT will take you to a different place, bro. So,
and the reason why it tells you that is because it's your higher self telling you that. So then you're thanking yourself because God's telling you that I'm the prime creator. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, God's prime creator, this is his creation, but you're also a creator too. But he can't create everything. He has to create through you, so that like what you did is the only unique thing. Like when you built the bar in the cave, nobody else could have did that but you. See, but you had help, like Kelly put the initials on the top. She painted it. You did this, that, and the other, just like the stuff that's in here. We're the creators. So God tells us to go out and create and bring all things back to me. So you go out and create, Eddie, but then when you die, I'm going to live through you. I'm going to relive your whole life of everything you did to create, because I can't do that because I'm the creator. I can create all things, but I can't create a juice bar like you did. I can't create a dispensary like you did. I can't create a podcast like we did. See what I'm saying? God can't do that. God can create everything, but you have to do it. We have to do it. So we did.
And that's what I was saying. Opportunities put in front of us all the time.
That's what it was. When I got fired from the job, it was like, God was like, now you're going to go ahead and start doing the podcast because you're not going to give a shit what you have to say, and people are going to hear it. You're not going to be like, somebody's heard what I had to say the other night. I don't give a fuck. I used to give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck. And you were a big part of that because
I woke that bear up.
Exactly, you did. That's exactly what happened. And then that's because I am another you. You are me, and I am you. Right. So I need you, just like in the movie Fight Club. Tyler Durden. He's your other half. So you were like my Tyler Durden. You were like, no, John, like you got to do this, this, and this. Like you got to talk. If you're going to talk about it, you might want to be about it. Like, don't worry about your job and your all that and all this stuff. That's all just an illusion. That's all just fake. That's just a persona. Because persona means how to be a genuine fake. So when people say I'm a persona, that's your fake.
I remember that you went and they told you come by, take a picture. The first question, I was in the shop when you got the call, text, and you said I'm not wearing a mask, and they told you don't come for the picture.
Exactly.
And you said at that point you already knew.
That's it. I already knew. The writing was on the wall, and I was like, here we go. Like it's starting. Yeah. And that was 2021.
That was bravery. Like going to jail. Was bravery. Yeah. All these things for speaking the truth, because you went to jail really for speaking the truth.
100%.
It wasn't for a crime. You didn't steal anything. You didn't hurt anybody. You went in there because you spoke the truth. You exposed the truth on camera, and they arrested you for it.
Somebody didn't like that.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. It is. You're right. And I would have never done that before. Like when you called me to have me come over to Megan's house and do that, and when I pulled up and saw the cop car there, the old John would have left. The old John would have called you and said, Eddie, yeah, I'm not feeling good about that. I'm just going to go ahead and go home, because I would have pussied out. I admit that the old John would have done it because I would have been afraid to get in trouble. The new John didn't give a shit. So new John was like, I'm going to go in there, and Eddie said to come over and see Megan and the baby, so I'm going to go over. Because I wasn't supposed to be there. You called me and said, hey, you coming? Somebody said you were coming over, and I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I was asleep.
That was perfect.
I was asleep. You woke me up out of sleep, and then I was like
1.8 million views.
Yeah. So then I should have. But if I would have saw it, but normally seeing the cops in front of the house, I'd have been like, that's not a good idea. I'm not going to go there. I'm out of here. But I pulled up, parked the car, walked right the fuck in, and didn't give a fuck. And then next thing you know, they came and stole the baby, and a week later I was in jail.
Well, the baby could have been in my bag.
No, yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's for another show. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard that story, that podcast is on our Spotify.
But I'll say this, but think about it. I always say you're the minister of truth. Yeah. Because remember, John, for standing up, your job, your reputation, jail, and you said fuck you. Yeah. Now look at you. Now you're fucking running a network.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're running a network with Mike, you got me, you got Joanne, you got all these people now. Yeah. So just think of that. Could that have happened if you were still working for the government?
Absolutely not.
No, you were a government
We've never
employee.
done it.
What are you going to do?
Yeah. They would have been like, you can't do that. What are you talking about?
I mean, John didn't lose a regular job. He lost a government job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a job that he could have been set for life. And he said, fuck you to that because I believe in truth. That's why I work for myself. I can't I can't plug myself back into the matrix as much as I may need to. I can't do it.
It's tough.
I may take a part-time as a a fucking bouncer at a bar or something.
Nice.
I already reached out to Nick.
I'll come do it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I already reached out to Nick and I reached out to the grinding the one on the other one on the beach.
Yeah, nice.
Grinding grave,
Cool.
whatever you call it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
sounds like fun.
Yeah, just fucking checking IDs and making sure.
See, that's why when I plugged in the Matrix, I took a spot where I can do basically what I want.
And that's the kid.
But
That's
let me
how
tell you,
going back in.
You know, son,
You have
but
to do
so
that.
where are you at?
Yeah, you have
You're
to.
with your fucking brother, my son.
Yep.
You know, you're 10, 15 minutes from your house. You're making,
You're making
80 grand a year,
making
so
bank.
100 grand a year.
Yep.
Doing what you know how to do.
That's all that
and
matters.
so if you guys are looking for a Jeep, a Chrysler, a Dodge, another plug,
Yep.
check out fucking Rondell. He's at Batlin out there in US 1 in Oslo. All right,
Quinn, by the way, Quinn doesn't need a car. He got one. So
what did he get?
He got the Chevy Cruze. He got the
Oh, he got the Cruze one.
That was
Okay.
nice. That was a nice car.
That was a
Yeah.
nice car.
He got a hell of a
Good
deal.
on
He got a hell of a deal too.
What was the hell?
Yeah, he got like for 4,300.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It only had 120,000 miles, and the guy's throwing in 2 brand new tires for the front. Yeah,
Can't beat
Good
that.
for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
yeah. So hopefully,
And that's the guy he dealt with before, so he's
same guy.
comfortable with
Yeah,
the guy.
he did the deal all by himself. He went over there, negotiated with him.
Quinn is growing up quick.
Grown man shit.
Yeah.
Motherfucker
You know,
taller
I
than me, taller than me now.
I tell you, bro. I remember when I first met Quinn, he was trying to fucking
Jeff.
educate Jeff, and Jeff was stunned, because Jeff was liberal,
Yeah.
and Jeff was stunned, like that. I'm like, and here Quinn, I'm listening to Quinn speak to him truth, and that's when you guys were doing the podcast,
the collective dream.
The collective dream, you and your son. And he was what, 14, 13, 14?
I think he was just turned 15 or 14. 15.
I remember because you know how I met him because your ex old lady used to bring him by to fucking, pick up something to chill him out, and fucking Quinn, man. He's still at the same spot. Yeah, good for him,
I
man.
just saw him there today. I went by.
It's funny, Dan. We talk about 4 years on the show, and time does go by pretty quick. Think about it. Because 2021 to me was like yesterday. It was so fucking vivid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot happened in 2021.
Well, that's when a big shift really occurred.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing what the shift
Dark
is doing.
times.
Yeah, we're seeing it's gonna. But the beauty of it is the best is yet to come. So that's what's
The new earth, like I was saying, you guys saw a part of it. See the whole thing, and you really got to get into it. It's not something that's like fucking conspiracy. It's true.
No, it's
the Bible speaks about it. It's just you have to read it.
Yeah,
you have to really hear it. Like I was saying, you go watch it as a nice video, but if you really hear the words of what he's saying about the new earth, it's a new frequency. Like John was saying, it's not really a place.
Yeah,
I see it as a place.
Well, it's going to be a place because we're going to go there with our bodies.
But you know why it's going to be a place? Because like you said, we're going to create that place.
Yes,
because God's going to give us that ability, that opportunity to create a new earth.
Exactly.
You see,
it's going to bless
because this earth was created by. I mean, God created the earth.
Yeah.
But the structures were created by man.
Exactly. So we're going to have to rebuild it. Like
Except the pyramids.
Because you said
came from outer
earlier,
space.
you said that it was going to just the only way to do anything is the end the age to destroy the old, so we can build the new. Exactly.
And that's in the Bible as well.
That's what's happening.
You got to watch the podcast.
Yeah, that's what happened. All right,
but really, man, guys, share the show, man. John, thanks for the ribs and the fries that was able to tear apart as soon as the show is over.
Right? Hell yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. I really do appreciate it. Share the show, guys. It really is a good show. We really appreciate a share, a like. Blackout Coffee.
Check out
Blackout
Coffee.
Yeah, Blackout. Speak about Blackout Coffee. Give a little history of that, John.
Yeah, well, they started in 2018, and they're direct online to consumer. So you can go to their website, blackoutcoffee.com, and check out their products. And they'll send it right to you. No subscription needed. You can just go right to their website and make the purchase. Just go through our link so that we get credit for it, and I'll be out there selling it to the local stores, and hopefully we'll get into retail all over the state of Florida. So it'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, man. So just put it out to the universe that this goes out into Publix, Cumberland's, and all these nice big places, and that, you know, we're a part of it.
Yep, 100%.
You know, because the show gets sponsored, John gets paid, bills get paid. You know,
that's it. There you go.
It is what it is.
House, you know.
It's the truth, right?
Yep,
that's what we're about, speaking the truth.
Exactly.
But God bless, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Stay human.
Love, peace, chicken grease, baby. We out.
We out.